Hey, do you believe the most successful entrepreneurs, businessmen, wealthy people, and maybe celebrities in the world is because they have more time than you? Or do you believe that they are just lucky when they get all the success? Or maybe, just maybe, they have worked extremely harder than you? Or maybe they have known someone in life. That's why they become so successful because that person has supported them. Or maybe they always get everything right. But I can tell you, my friend, none of them is the only reason and the actual reason why they are successful. And today I'm going to share with you the secrets and the mistakes that I've made while I am pursuing my financial and time freedom. Because let's be honest, nobody doesn't want the freedom. And how can we achieve that freedom? It is a big question. And today I'm going to unlock the secret for you. In our career, there are three steps of our career status. The first step is usually the easiest step is when you become an employee. And that's the first E, employee. When you are an employee, what you do is you trade your time for money. That's normal. You exchange your time with money. Now, when you start to grow and you start to learn and you start to realize, hang on a minute, that is not the best way to have your career. And it's impossible to achieve financial freedom if you just become an employee, unless you meet someone in life who has achieved their freedom, and they can also help you to achieve your freedom. But let's move to the next step, the second E. The second E is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur will use money to trade for more time because when they pay money, they hire people. They can have more time to do what they want to do. And that is fantastic. That is most of us that when we are entrepreneur, we are happy because we can finally do something with the time that we always want to do while we were so busy being an employee. Now, this is still not the best step because if you're an entrepreneur that you just have money to exchange time, that means you still have to keep earning more money. If you have to keep earning more money, where can you get the money? And it end up becoming that you become the employee again. You are both employer and employee because you have to hire yourself to do the work so that you can get more income for the company. Unfortunately, there are so many entrepreneurs in the world are stuck on this level. And the third step is the best step. It sounds really, really hard, but it is the thing that all the billionaires and the most wealthy people in the world are doing. That is why they have achieved financial freedom. So the third E is empire builder. Empire builder is just like a kingdom builder. It is just like someone who invests in other things. What they do is they exchange money with money. When they have $10, they can exchange to $100 while investing in the right place. And if we want to grow things, the only way, if you don't have to always be there, is to sow money seeds. Just like you plant a seed in the garden, you plant a lot of seeds in the garden. Sometimes not all seeds will grow, but once one seed grows, you get a lot of fruits, and you don't even know how many fruits you can get because it will keep coming again and again and again. That's exactly the other people who are very successful in the world, empire builders. What they are doing is they keep sowing the money seeds so that they will never be short for more money. My question for you is, are you planting any seeds right now? Are you investing your money to the right place? You may ask me, Kristy, what would be the best way to invest? There are two things I can share immediately, but we can have another session talking about the investing. How can we invest in the right place? How can we grow money from a seed to a huge tree and then become fruitful and we can get a lot of fruits? So the two things I've heard with all the billionaires that what they're doing is number one, they always invest in real estate. That is non-negotiable, and that is one of the best ways to grow your wealth. And the second thing is you invest in the business. Invest in someone who has been already doing the profitable business. All they need is more money to invest so that they can scale, they can grow their business. But be mindful before you invest in anyone, make sure that you also understand about what they're doing and you can see pretty much 99.9% that you're confident it's going to be great. And coming back to the wealth secrets as well as the mistake that I've made, I'm going to share with you these mistakes as a leader, as entrepreneur that I got stuck. And once I understand about all of these things, and once I have my mind opened, everything has transformed. So here are a few things that the biggest mistakes I have made. The first thing what I've done really wrong is when I started this business, I started everything by myself and I did everything by myself. And then I started to think about hiring people. But because I always had been an employee, that means I always prefer to do things by myself. But that was the biggest trap because when you become an entrepreneur, when you become someone who really want to achieve freedom, it's impossible for you to achieve freedom if you have to do everything by yourself, especially for those high achievers, people like myself. I prefer to do things because I know I'm capable in doing anything. But that is exactly the biggest problem because number one, we increase our ego. We think we're awesome. We think we can do anything, which is the truth. But the other truth is if you keep doing everything by yourself, you will never, never be free. And that's why the number one biggest mistake I have made is do it my own. Do everything by myself, sales, marketing, everything, including operation, including welcoming members, welcome clients and customer service, everything. And that was a huge mistake. And I'm so grateful that the moment when I shift things to my team, when I start creating SOP and everything, my time has been released so much so that I could do things that I always wanted to do. And the second mistake is whenever we need to invest in things, the first thought I had was, oh, it's too expensive. I cannot afford it. When I say that, what happened is when we believe we cannot afford hiring good people, we always go through the cheap options. And that really burned ourselves with energy, and also burned our time, that our time has gone after 20 wrong people. And finally, you realize if you have already invested two times, four times more in the right person, your business has already grown to more than 10 times than what you are now. And that is still one of my struggles that sometimes when it comes to spending, it's like, oh, I'm not sure because that person I'm also not familiar. I'd rather spend money, invest in someone I can train and I can take that person to another level. If you have time, that is one of the options. But most of the time, we knew those people are not the right person, but we still keep using. And that is the biggest problem. So do not let I can't afford it to block you because here is the truth. When you break down your pay per hour, you realize, okay, as long as I can achieve that much of my income in the company, as long as I can pay myself with that amount, why don't I just take half of the money per hour and then invest in someone who can do everything for me? I can earn less, but I also earn more of my time. That takes me a very long time to understand. And in fact, because of the habits, because of being employee forever, I I literally struggled a lot. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to share with you that I understand it is hard to move that step, but do not make this mistake. Do not say to yourself you cannot afford it, because the fact is you can afford it when you pay more to others. You cannot afford it when you pay less, but you waste too much time, that your time is gone, because your time is way more precious than your pay. And the third mistake I made is you give what you enjoy to others. If you are a baker, you have a bakery. The reason why you start the bakery is because you love baking so much. But the moment when you hire people, you will shift out to get you hire someone doing the bakery for you, but they realize that you are not enjoying anything you're doing, accounting, IT, whatever the marketing and sales, or the other things is not what you like. Then why don't you swap? You still do the bakery, you hire people to the sales. You hire people to do whatever you don't like, because that is one of the reasons why you lose your joy, your passion, your purpose, because everybody is so different. One of my friends, she is a lash tech. She do eyelashes extension. And then one thing she loved the most is eyelash extension. She loves to lashing her clients, and she loves to speak to them. She enjoyed that a lot, but recently she started to struggle so much. She had to do the marketing, sales, all this kind of stuff. She did not enjoy it at all. So my suggestion for her is you should hire someone to do things that you don't enjoy, and so you can stick to things you enjoy. And the same happened to our business as well. I like to communicate with people. I like to do sales, but then end up I became a marketing person. I started to do a lot of things. I love creativity stuff. I do a lot of creative stuff. But when I realized when I have to do IT, accounting, all these other things, I was burning out. I did not like my job. I did not like my business. I said, you know what? I don't even want to run the business. This is the point that I was thinking in that way. I did not realize the reason why I said that is because I put so much things that I don't enjoy on my own shoulder, and I give things I like to people that I hire to do it, which is ridiculous. So remember, do not make the same mistake. Keep what you love to do what you love with you. Keep the other things that you don't enjoy by hiring people to do it for you. Now, the next mistake I have made is micromanage. Micromanage and afraid of mistakes. We are so we are so cautious when it comes to you don't want to see your team making mistakes. At the beginning, I was really, really stressful. You know what? Everything they do is reflecting my image, my reputation, the company image, and the company reputation. If things go so wrong, it will be so bad. But most of the time, everybody makes mistakes. It's impossible to avoid mistakes. The only way for your team to grow is to allow them to make mistakes. When I say that, be careful. Some people are the wrong people. They can make the same mistakes 10 times. If they make more than 5 times or 3 times, they probably already are the wrong people. So be mindful. What I'm saying here is if they're the right people, you know that you can trust them. And here is the thing. If you don't trust someone, don't hire them. If you hire them, trust them. Of course, there's a saying that I don't trust anyone 100%. You know what I'm talking about. If you cannot trust someone, why don't you even use them? But when you use them, you have to trust them, because you don't have so much energy to doubt that person. If you doubt, your life's going to be so miserable. And they feel that too. They won't be encouraged. They don't want to do things for you anyway, if that happens. So instead of doing micromanaging and afraid of mistakes, what I did, I shifted was encourage, empower, and then trust them, as we shared earlier, as well as train them. So we have empower, encourage, double E. We have trust, T, train, T, double T. So once we have done these 4 things, you will realize that actually your team is not that bad. The reason why they're not performing is because you haven't done encouragement, you haven't done empowerment, you haven't done trusting them enough, and you haven't also done the training. Your team cannot grow without training, whether it's trained by yourself directly or trained by someone you hire from outside. One of my clients who have recently shared about his journey that he hired amazing sales coach that his team immediately performed 10 times better, which is awesome. My question for you is, have you done that? Or you just sitting there and wishing everything will grow, but you're not investing anything to your team, whether it's your time, your energy, or the money to hire someone to empower them and to also train them. And the last but not least, the biggest mistake when it comes to freedom, when it comes to be an empire builder, is saving money for safety. It is great for you to save. In fact, you always have to save 10% of your income every single month and never touch it, because who knows, when winter comes, that money will become the lifesaver for you. But what I'm trying to say here is anything outside that 10%, many people just save a huge amount of money in their bank account, but those money will not grow. Interest rate will never cover what you put there. The money only become less valuable, and it's just going to reduce its value every single day and year. Now, the best way to do it, we shared earlier, is sowing the money seeds. It's time for you to get part of the money, always invest in things that you know is going to grow for you. And don't think about it once you invest in that, because you know investment will grow. And that is one of the best ways how you can become financially and time freedom and achieve time freedom. I hope you enjoyed this today, and I believe this took me a very long time to understand and learn. When we understand and learn, doesn't mean we're actually doing it, and it actually takes me time to also put into action. So my encouragement for you today, my friend, is put into action, because action speaks way louder than words. God bless you. I can't wait to hear from you how this improves your business, your mindset, and achieve your financial and time freedom. Thank you.